up the stream, it's the cash flow show. Every day I'm live and I let you know there's a better way to get that cash, not chasing clicks that disappear so fast. You gave your time to the algorithm. the stream, it's the cash flow show. Every day I'm live and I let you know there's a better way to get that cash, not chasing clicks that disappear so fast. You gave your time to the algorithm, but the rules keep changing. You can't win them. You need a lane that you own for real, so your knowledge turns into a deal. On the cash flow path, yeah, we're breaking free from the rented reach and the mystery. Build your own space where your people stay. Private community that pays your way. On the cash flow path, watch your value grow. Turn your wisdom into profit flow. Every daily live, I'm laying it out straight. Over 40 creators, it's never too late.
Welcome, welcome. Hi, Rebecca. All right, so this is the cash flow path. If you've never been with me before, you can put a 1 in the comments. And if you want to ask questions, here is how you do it. You come over here and you just put colon and then ask your question. And then if you put colon and then question, it helps me kind of separate comments from questions so I can address those. So there is a huge trend toward AI, making AI video, all kinds of different things, right? And using AI to make money. And I contend that for us that are 40 plus, that's not the way to go, because you have to learn all these new skills. Whereas if you just find something that you already know, you can create a recurring income. You can turn that content into predictable monthly income without worrying about how many views you get or how many followers you get on social media. Right? So, for example, let's go. What am I looking for here? Where was it? Oh my goodness. Where did it go? I have got to get this stuff better lined up. Sorry about this, guys. Is that it? No, that's not it. So let's start here. All right. Because this is all we're talking about is if you can solve somebody's problem, they'll pay you, right? They will pay you. And the way that you solve their problem is you help them save time, money, or headaches. That's what you do. And if you've been on my lives before, you know that I talk about this slide like it's a broken record, because all you're doing is helping somebody get from point A to point B. And usually there's about 6 steps to help somebody get from point A to point B. And you do it using existing knowledge. So that's how you do that. Now, you might be asking yourself, how does that work, right? Well, where is this thing that I am looking for? This is crazy to me. Why can I not find it? Well, you know what? I'm going to pull it up again anyway. So what you want is you want to rely on what I call the knowledge buckets. And this is the simplest way that I can think of to explain this to you. Because the first thing that people think of is I don't have anything that people want to learn, or I don't have anything that anybody would pay for. Have you ever thought of that before? Because if you have, you're just like most people. You're not alone. And the thing that you want to do is you want to understand that everyone has these knowledge buckets. It's either going to be a career that you have done, or that you currently do, right? For example, and I'm going to show you some screen shares here if that's okay with you. that will explain to you what I mean. So we're going to take you to my community called the Cash Flow Path. And we're going to go to the discovery page, and we are going to type in project management. So if you are a project manager, look at this. If you're a project manager for a living, and she has been for 10 years, and the thing about project management is it's a profession that pays very well. So the demand is high to be in that profession. And because she's already been in that profession, she can easily teach people how to be in that profession. And so she's got 1,600 members. And if you look at this number right here, it's in the top 2% of earners on this platform called Skool. Now, if you don't know what Skool is, it is basically, it's like a Facebook group on steroids that people actually want to hang out in because there's no ads. Everybody sees everything that you post, and it is only interest based. It is not a bunch of drama. It is not political. It is not entertainment. It is simply, I want to hang out with people that are interested in this subject, and I can do that here. So she's got this group, and she makes, are you ready for this? So this says, right, that you get, she's making 2% in the top 2% of the platform. Well, here, if you look, you'll see what that crown actually means. She's making $30,000 a month in her Skool community. Why? Because she's got 1,600 members paying $49 a month. That's why. So do the math. Right? But that's a profession. So she's teaching something that she already does for a living. Let's go to, let's say you are in, let's do another one from profession. Let's try, let's play truck dispatching. And I know this one. Start your own truck dispatching business. Obviously, Juan here has been a truck dispatcher. And so he knows how to start the business. So he's got 125 members paying him $10 a month. Now, maybe that's a figure that is more, maybe that's a figure that's more believable to you, right? You can make $1,200 a month. That's pretty good. That's pretty darn good. And so what he does is start your own truck dispatching business without any experience or owning trucks. Get your first paid load by day 30. Avoid costly mistakes. So that's a very attractive offer if you want to start a truck dispatching business or you want to get into that profession. That's a very attractive offer. And there's tons more. You could go into Excel. You could go into accounting. You could go into real estate. I mean, you can do any one that you want, right? So that's the first knowledge bucket. The second knowledge bucket is a problem that you have. Now, usually problems are related to health, wealth, or relationships. So let's go back again. Let's go with health because health is an easy one. So let's go into health. Health is usually a problem for people. So this guy has a training program, right? And he's got 2,800 members paying $10 a month. Now, I think he started his community for free and then he moved it to paid because he is making in the top 10%, which is good. But if you look over here, top 10% means he's making at least 3,000, but he's making under 10,000. But he's got a very, very popular and very trending community. If you go on to trending, right? We've got that. And you go into paid, you'll see he's like the #2 trending community on the platform. Then you've got this guy, right? This is Oscar. Oscar makes an absurd amount of money. Oscar makes $100,000. Actually, Oscar makes about $150,000 a month with his community. And it's called Looks. It's a looks maxing, basically, community where he teaches people how to, by getting healthier, he teaches them how to look better. So I improve people's looks by fixing their health. Very straightforward, right? And he says it's easy because it's natural. We're animals, biologically hardwired to choose the healthiest mate. What we call attractive is simply healthy. Health equals looks. So he explains that. Then he has a quick little video. Then he's got some before and afters where he showed people how by improving their health, he's improved their looks. And he's got tons of testimonials. Then he says, this is what you're going to get, one-on-one messaging, specific support for men and women of all ages. And then he's got frequently asked questions. How's this work? So he's got all this, but he's got 7,200 members paying him $39 a month. So when you look at it, it's a very straightforward thing, right? So he's fixing people's health. Let's look at another one because that's a top community. Let's go look at relationships, right? Because that's a problem people have is relationships. So let's look at Graceful Wife. Or here's another one because it's making a little bit more money. For Christian women desiring courtship and marriage. Now, what's interesting about what this woman does is the fact that she's targeting only Christian women. And she's probably targeting Christian women of a certain age. And she's giving them a very clear definition of what success looks like in her community. And that's dating to marriage. In other words, not just dating to have a good time, but dating somebody that you're going to marry. So that is a very specific outcome for a very specific person. And when you do a very specific outcome for a very specific person, you have success. Because you don't need that many. You don't need millions of views, and you don't need hundreds of thousands of followers. It's a lot more profitable to find 95 people who want to pay you $47 a month because your content leads them to being able to solve that problem for themselves. So that's a problem. Now, a passion. This is also a very popular thing on the school platform. You could go into hobbies, right? Because for most people, hobbies don't necessarily have anything to do with making money. They just have to do with something that brings somebody some joy, right? It's something that they do where they're not worried about making money at it. They just want to do it because it brings them enjoyment. So let's look at these. Let's look at scrapbooking. 74 people paying $5 a month to learn how to scrapbook. Right? Or this woman over here. I know this one for a fact. Let me find, where is it here? Now this woman, Lizzie, she combined two different things. She combined her love of fantasy fiction, right? Like The Hobbit, like Lord of the Rings, like Harry Potter. She combined her love of that fan fiction with her ability to crochet, and she teaches people how to crochet these specific characters from her fantasy fiction. So it is a very small niche, right? Extremely small. But she's got 222 members paying her $15 a month. So it doesn't have to be anything super complicated, right? It can be a hobby. You can do it with a video game. Let me show you another person here. Whoops, sorry, I spelled something wrong. Let's look at this guy. So this is Evan. Evan's got a community and he makes over $3,000 a month and under $10,000 a month. And he's teaching people who are passionate about Grand Theft Auto, he's teaching them how to play the game before the game comes out in November. And he's got 215 members who, after a free trial, they pay $25 a month. And you can see Evan is making over $3,000 a month doing this. And his promise is to make your first $1,000 from GTA 6 before it launches. And so why that's such a great promise and why that's such a great idea for a group is because GTA 6 launches in November. So if you get in his group right now in August, so you're going to pay for August, September, October, November, right? So 4 months. So he's saying by investing $100 over the next 4 months, I'm going to show you how to make $1,000 before the game launches. So it's a great ROI for somebody who wants to do that, right? Now, another thing that you can do besides those types of passions, think about, we're going to go over here. And this is just one of so many, guys. There are so many things in here that you could do. You could do hobbies. You could do music. So music is a hobby for many people, right? This guy play songs real fast on the harmonica. He's got 255 people paying him $7 a month to learn how to play the harmonica. So again, it doesn't have to be anything complicated. It can just be something simple. Let's go back over here. Guitar, 37 members, $47 a month. Why your solos feel slow, sloppy, and stuck. He's teaching people how to play guitar, right? And he's got private onboarding and all kinds of stuff like that. So let's jazz, improvisation, piano, right? And it's just jazz. Here's another piano improv lamb. No Theory Club, Never Quit Guitar Again. 8,000 members at $9 a month. $8,700 member. Sorry, 8,700 members. And this guy is making over $3,000 a month, but under $10,000 a month with his community. And so what's cool about these communities and the way that school does things is school keeps everything very, unfortunately, I do not speak French, so I cannot help you with your questions. I am sorry. But what school does is it makes everything transparent. So, and with these emojis now, you can see what people are really making, and as opposed to what they might be telling you they're making, or might be trying to make you believe what they are making. Like if you go over to my profile, you can see just from the affiliate program alone, I have made almost $10,000, $9,892, just from the affiliate program. That's not from my own group. That's just from affiliates. So that's what I like about school, is school makes things transparent. You can see how many people are in a group. You can see how much they charge for the group. And then you can even go to this thing called the leaderboard, which I'm going to show you. And see, so this is one of those things where I don't have to tell you anything. I just get to show you. I just get to show you real results from real people. So where is what I'm looking for? There we go. So they have this thing called a leaderboard. And look, you're probably not going to believe these numbers, but that's okay. That's okay. So this guy right here, and you can't really see it, unfortunately. Actually, let me see if you can see it. If I go to my settings, I go to theme, I get off dark theme, I go to light theme. All right, let's see if you can see it better now. Yes, now you can see it. Okay, that's why I need to keep this on light whenever I'm going live. All right, now you can see it. Can you see that number? That is a real legit number. $887,000 a month. Not a year, a month. And so what is Logan doing? Logan has what's called the Blue Collar Business Accelerator. It is only for blue collar business owners. It is only for home service business owners. It is only for landscapers, hardscapers, lawn care, deck builders, mobile welders, excavation, concrete remodeling, HVAC, right? It's only for trades, but he shows these trades how to get to $100,000 a year. And so do the math. If you could get to $100,000 a year, would you pay $20,000 a year to get there? Because you would net profit $80,000. Would you do that? Most of these blue-collar business owners would. Most of them would. So that's what they do. They just get in his program, and let's go back to the leaderboard again. Let's see here. So here's Oscar's health maxing community that I showed you before. He makes $274,000 a month. Here's another guy who helps people with Maker School, which is make.com. It's about AI automations. He makes $258,000 a month. Here's a guy that's got a real estate community. He makes $206,000 a month. Here's an AI automations by Jack. He makes $200,000 a month. And while these numbers seem ridiculous and you can't ever possibly fathom making that type of money, this is the overall category. Let's go into hobbies. And this guy, who's got a community that is not even in English, so I don't really even know what it is, but here's one, Colorist Inc. When you grade for clients or want full authorship of your own images. So what he does is he does something called color grading, which I don't really know what it is, but it's how you grade, it's how you bring different colors to video. But let's look at one that you should understand what it is. Tattoo Masterclass. This guy just teaches people how to become professional tattoo artists and to get fully booked calendars. $39 a month, 1,300 members, and you can see by going to the leaderboard that this guy makes $48,000 a month. The Photo Project. She teaches people how to hang on to their photos. She makes $32,000 a month. And again, these numbers seem ridiculous, but just go down here. Here's Master Photo Academy. Here's another Photo Academy. He makes $6,400 a month. That's still a full-time income in the United States. Still a full-time income. So you don't have to make the huge numbers, right? You can make those. But all you need to do, if you look at what we talked about before, they're just solving a problem, right? It's either their career, it's a problem they've solved for themselves, or it is a passion, something that they love enough to keep talking about. And that's all it is. So it's not curing cancer. It's not making the next amazing tech thing. It's just solving a problem for people. For that one woman, it was just teaching Christian women how to date only for the purposes of marriage and not just date. Simple. For the people in the fantasy crochet, it was only for helping people that are interested in fantasy fiction, and they also like crochet. So they get to learn how to make the characters that they read about in their fantasy fiction. It is a super small niche, and that's what a lot of people don't get. you can go super small on your niche. You don't have to try to appeal to everybody. You can appeal to a very, very small group of people because you want to become a big fish in a very small pond. And then you can expand out. But you want to start out super, super small, right? You want to start out like my friend Cindy did. Let me show you my friend Cindy. I'm sorry, my friend Kathleen. Sorry about that. So this is inside of my community. And I'm going to look up my friend Kathleen. So Kathleen's is for only high functioning burnout recovery for women, for professional women, right? High achieving women, age probably 35 to 55, right? So she's got about a 20-year window, and she's only for women. She's not for men. Her group is not for men, but she's got 13 members, $29 a month. She's just getting started, right? So, and I love it. She actually took my advice and she changed the name of her group. And I love it. She's tired of being strong. That's a fantastic name. That is a fantastic name for her group. And I'm so glad that she took the advice and decided to change the name. Well, shoot, I didn't show it to you, did I? But so there's Kathleen's, right? So she's only for high achieving women between age 35 to probably 55. And so she's able to reach those women. And the reason she's able to reach those women and why she wants to help those women is because that's what she is. And that's what she was. And a lot of times you're best suited to help somebody who is the former version of you. That's the simplest way that I can put this. You're helping the former version of yourself. And so when you can do that, and you saw all the different categories, you can have a school group and people will find it. Now, how do you get them to find it? Well, you do kind of the thing that I'm doing right now is you make content about that thing. And then you direct people to a school group. Like if you look at what I do, let's go over here to my YouTube page. Now you will see my YouTube page. I do not have that many subscribers, right? These are my vidIQ stats, but I don't have that many subscribers. If you go to my channel, let's view my channel. Or is this viewing? This is viewing my channel. So I've got 1,690 subscribers. I don't have a ton of subscribers. You know also who didn't have a ton of subscribers? Evan, who makes over $3,000 a month with his GTA Academy. He's only got about 600 subscribers on his channel. But he's making over $3,000 a month. But here's the thing. He's not making $3,000 a month because he's getting paid for views on YouTube or Instagram. He's making $3,000 a month because he is creating content and then he is sending people to a school group. And that's it. He doesn't have a funnel. He doesn't have a website. He doesn't have a landing page. He's not giving away lead magnets. He literally just makes content and then sends people to his school group. Right? And then the other thing that he's getting the benefit of is something called School Growth Boost. And I'm going to log into my Facebook to show you this. Give me just a second. I was not prepared for this, but I will be in just a moment. These things drive me crazy. How they tell you, oh, you got to put this in here. Seriously? Oh, Lord. Sorry about this, guys. There we go. All right. I'm almost there. So while it logs into my Facebook, so what school is doing is school is helping us get members. Let me say that again. School is spending their own money to help us get members. Now, you might be saying to yourself, why in the heck would school spend their own money to get members for you? And this is why. Because every time that school gets a member for you from their advertising, school will collect 30% affiliate commissions every time. So I'm trying to find a school ad that was run by school, not by somebody who has a school group. I'm trying to find it. It's got to be here somewhere. Let me see. Where are we here? Where are we here? Let's see if I can find it here. Okay, here's a perfect example. So, school is running ads like this to help people. And let's see if we can find mine. I don't know if we'll find mine or not. No, in this case, we're not going to find mine. But in other cases, I have seen mine. As a matter of fact, let me show you. But can you see this? School is spending their own money. Look, Tattoo Masterclass. That's probably why that guy has such a successful community, because school is running these ads. And then when school runs the ads to help you get members, and if you get members, school gets 30%. So it's like an affiliate commission fee for school. But some schools currently are getting direct ads run by school to their communities, and school is spending $5,000 a day on advertising for them. Yes, $5,000 a day, or $150,000 a month. School is spending on individual communities to help them get members. And the way that this works is people go into a school, right? And the way to get this done for yourself is you create what's called packaging. You create a compelling cover image. You create several other images inside of your school community. Because what school is doing is they are using not just the cover images, but they're also using stuff from your social media, and they're using stuff from your classroom. They're using stuff from your about page images, which is what the page I just showed you. So school is using all of that to create what we call ad creatives, which are different images that help attract people to your school group. So that's what they're doing. So that's why, hands down, this is the best platform to use. This platform, school, currently gets, in fact, this page right here gets almost 1 million visits a day. A day. They get almost 1 million visits a day. There are 28 million users on this platform. 28 million users. But there are only 100 and there's probably about 200,000. There's probably about 200,000 group owners on the platform, but there's 28 million users. And look what they just did. It took a while, but look what they just did. Now you can have your school group and everything on the school platform appear in native Spanish or native German. And once they determine that it's working well, then they're going to move to French and Chinese and whatever, right? Greek, Russian, you name it. They'll move to those other languages once they have verification that it's working the way that they want it to work. But that's why you choose school. That and the fact that the co-owner of this platform is a guy named Alex Hormozi. And if you don't know who Alex Hormozi is, that is a guy worth figuring out. There he is. There's Mose. So if you know who this guy is, he runs a portfolio of companies doing $250 million a year in revenue. He owns like a whole bunch of companies, and all combined, they're doing like somewhere between 250 and 300. One of the companies that he co-owns is School, and they are pouring millions of dollars into helping people grow communities, because if they help them grow their community, then they're going to stay on the platform. And if they stay on the platform, School gets money every month. So it's not difficult to figure out why School would do this, but this is what School is doing. So if that guy is the brains behind what's going on, and he's also said that within 18 months or so, School will be doing between $4 and $8 billion of revenue. 4 to 8 billion. And if you look at the millions that some people are already making on School, you can see why he would say that. This guy alone is making $887,000. This one's making $700,000, $300,000. So if you added all this stuff up, it would go into the massive, massive millions. So you can see that this type of money, and when he says doing 4 to 8 billion, he doesn't mean that School is going to earn 4 to 8 billion. He means that the people who run school groups will accumulate and generate that type of income. He doesn't mean that School's going to make all that money. He means that everybody who has a community on the platform combined, cumulatively, they're all going to make that type of money. So you can see why he would say that when you look at those numbers. But if you're just thinking about something like this and you're not sure whether or not this is for you, I strongly encourage you to try out the Cash Flow Path. That is our school group. And we're going to show you how to turn content, especially if you are a creator or an expert. And that's who my stuff is for, right? Remember I said earlier you want to get very specific about who your stuff is for? Well, this is who my stuff is for. Where is my card? Where did I put it? Right here. You're posting income, but you're posting consistently, but your income is flat. Your content's solid, but the growth and reach aren't there. Or you really know your field. You're making great, valuable, educational, current, relevant content, but you don't know what you might sell or how to structure it. So what a lot of people do is they try to depend on the ad platform payouts, or they try to depend on brand deals. Now look at this, okay? I want you to look at this. Now you can see these numbers are not quite up to date. But the estimate of what I would make is $44. If I get one member to upgrade to my premium tier in my community, I'm making more than that. So that's why this is such a better deal, right? That's why it's such a better deal. Because you're going to learn how to monetize what you know the way that you want to do it, right? You're not going to put all the, why can I never find what I'm looking for here? Good Lord. There it is. You're not going to put your earning capacity in the hands, excuse me, in the hands of a platform. It's going to stay with you, because what a lot of people don't realize is that if you are relying on the platform, here's what you're doing. You are posting on this super highway, right? We've all heard the internet is a super highway. But here's the thing, you don't own it. You have no ownership in this thing whatsoever. They can take it away from you at any time. So it's a rented platform. The algorithm, quote unquote, gets to decide who sees what and how much it's worth, not you. You don't get to determine that. There's like this endless stream of content, right? And when there's an endless stream of content, you're going to suffer, right? If I just go into YouTube general, right? Look at this. You don't even know what to click. There's so many videos here that they're recommending for you. Now, some of them are recommended based on the type of content that you watched before, and some of them aren't. But there is this endless parade. Oh, I didn't know I could do that. So there's this endless parade of content. And if you're trying to compete with that, guess what? Good luck. Right? Good luck. Because it's just convoluted. And the reason I call this the highway is because, think about it. A highway, you're going 70, 80 miles an hour. And on that highway, you barely have time to look at a street sign. The only street signs, or the only signs rather, that you look at are the ones that are the off-ramp. So a community on school is the off-ramp. It's the off-ramp to owning your content, owning your audience, and making the type of money that you want to make. That's what it is. Because you don't control anything here. I don't control anything here. If they decide that the video that I made yesterday is not good enough, then it's not going to get any views. And I'm not going to make any money from the platform. And I'm not going to get a brand deal. And so on and so forth. But would you rather have 10,000 views on a video? Or would you rather have 50 people paying you $30 a month because they might have seen your content a couple of times, but then they went to your school community and they found out how cool your community was. They found out how many other people were interested in the same subject that they are. And they said, hey, if I can learn how to do this, yeah, that's worth $30 a month. Because that's not even, I mean, my wife and I went to breakfast this morning and it was over $30. So it's one meal, right? And in my community, the highest tier is no more than a regular dinner out. In fact, it's less than most regular dinners out. So, and you get me for 4 hours every single month. So when you look at it in those terms, these communities provide massive, massive value for people. So if you want to learn how to do this, come into the cash flow path. Now, this is what it will look like for you. And yes, there is a free trial. Now, if you are not a member of School yet, in other words, you don't have an account on School yet, then what you'll have to do is you'll have to get one. But they're so easy to get. All you need to do is put in your name, email, and a password. They're going to send you a confirmation email saying, did you want to sign up for this? And it's just like a Gmail account. It's free. It's free to have an account. The only time that they charge you is if you enter a community that is a paid community, or you start your own community. And I help people start communities. That's really what I do. So if you go into my free trial, you'll see that I've got 2. This is for the first 7 days. That's going to help you get this result. And then this is if you want more of my help. Because one of the things that I help people do and specialize in is helping people come up with what to say here, come up with what to say here, come up with what these images should be for your group, and I help you specialize in getting found. In other words, I help you with your keywords so you can be like this. All I did is put in content. All I did is put in creator monetization. And even though I've got 85 members and other people have more members and other people are charging way more than my community's in the top 6. Or I'm number 1 for experts over 40. And how do you know that people are using those terms to search for you? Well, that is simply going into your community, which is what I will do now. And I go into my settings and I go into discovery. And then I've got experts over 40, monetize your expertise, build a paid community, creator monetization, turn content into income, recurring income for creators, turn expertise into income. So I've got all these keywords, right? And even though my community is only ranked 2,470th, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter at all. And I wasn't showing you this, so I need to. I tend to do that. That's why I think it's important you guys call me out. So these are what we call keywords. And you put these keyword phrases in there. And then when people type in those keyword phrases, for example, oh, that's interesting. On this one, I'm not rated on the top page, even though it's right in my thing. That's interesting. But I'll bet you I'm on page 2. Right? So this is the type of stuff I teach you how to do, is to get ranked on these so you'll be found. So if you're interested in that, all you have to do is take a free trial. And here's the thing about a free trial is if you're 40 and over and you're thinking this is a hell of a lot better way to make money than relying on the platform, if you're thinking that to yourself, you're also not sure whether or not my community is for you. And I get that. That's why I do a 7-day free trial. Because you're not going to know whether or not my community is for you unless you actually get inside and take the free trial. If all you do is watch my content, you can try to do it yourself, but you're going to run into issues that I can't cover with every single video. And if you run into those issues and you get frustrated and you have nobody to talk to, then you're probably going to get frustrated and give up on the idea. But I've shown you countless examples of people that are making this thing work in a major way. So why not you? And some of those people are even 40 and over, believe it or not, that are doing this. So why not you? But the only way you're going to know, that's why when I tell people, take the 7-day free trial, because I'm not even asking you to make a decision. I'm asking you to try it for 7 days. That's not a decision. That's an action, but it's not a decision, because you got 7 days to figure out whether or not it's for you. And if it's not, at the end of 7 days, before that 7th day turns over, just cancel and you won't be charged. But I look at all the people that have visited my page and they won't even take a 7-day free trial. They won't even believe in themselves that much. And if you won't bet on yourself for a 7-day free trial, then you're never going to succeed. If you don't have that much belief in yourself that you're willing to try something for 7 days, forget it. This is not for you, and don't visit my community because you won't win. You won't succeed. You won't build a successful community. But one of the things that I found when I discovered this platform 3 years ago, and yes, I've been on this platform way longer than most. Before Hormozi ever got involved on this platform, I was there. I'm what we call an early adopter. I've seen this thing explode. I can remember when there were legit only 50,000 communities. No, I'm sorry. There were 50,000 users on the platform and there were only 13,000 communities. I can legit remember logging on almost 3 years ago and seeing 13,000 communities. Whereas right now, if you log on, you will see that it says oh, now see, how do I do that? Maybe I have to unlock it. Maybe that's what I got to do. No, it's not. That's weird. I don't know why it's not allowing me to do what I did on another screen. But let's see if I can zoom in a little bit and let you see. See, now you can see 100, it's down at the bottom there, but 161,000 communities. And we've been as high as 195,000 communities, right? We've been as high as that. So the growth has been amazing. And not only that, it's not even as big as it's going to get. We haven't even scratched the surface of where this thing is going. I like to tell people, without really hyping up, I like to tell people this is Microsoft in 82 and Facebook in 2008. Because the world still doesn't know about this thing. But imagine if all you had to do was share your knowledge. And let's go back to these knowledge buckets again. Imagine if all you had to do was share your knowledge from a career, a problem, or a passion, and tell people who had that problem that you could solve it for them. And then they would join your community. And then they would get great results, right? And when they got great results, you could put up stuff like this. Because my friend Cindy, look what she did in her first 30 days of running her own community. $3,000 a month in her first 30 days. Now, Cindy's around 40, but look at my friend Ray. Ray looks a lot different. Ray's even older than me. Ray was 65 when I met him on TikTok. And he started a community, and within 31 days, he was making $1,300 a month. And Ray said his biggest problem was waiting. That was his biggest regret, was waiting. It wasn't getting started. It wasn't spending the money to getting started. It was waiting. Because he knew he lost probably $3,000 or $4,000 by waiting. So it's called opportunity cost. And sometimes it's not taking action that costs you way more money than it does to take action. So if you want to join our community on a 7-day free trial, the link is in my bio. And I hope you got something out of this. And if this is the first time you're here, welcome. I go live every single day, and I make a recorded video every single day. I've been doing that since the 183rd day of the year. I don't know what day I'm on, but I've been doing that now consistently for the last, for almost a month and a half now. And so I'm in this groove of I do this every single day. And that is how I get people to my community. So, and traffic is the number one thing. You have to get people to visit your community. And if you're not willing to make content, then you better be willing to message people, or you better be willing to spend money on ads. Because if you're not making content or you're not drawing people to your community, then schools ads aren't really going to help you. Right? So, all right, guys, that's it for me. We've been at this for about an hour. That's one of my longer lives. But I hope you got something out of this, and I will see you live tomorrow.
Load up the stream. It's a cash flow show. Every day I'm live and I let you know there's a better way to get that cash. Not chasing clicks that disappear so fast. You gave your time to the algorithm, but
You still here? It's over. Go home.